Alright guys, I would be remiss if I just realized this and decided to leave it out. So when I was going through all of the class videos and recording them, and then, editing them, amongst all of my poor editing skills and all that, I also realized that I just decided to not talk about all of the weapon skills as I was showing off all the different weapons. Nor did I talk about class-specific resources. So, in this video, I decided to just grab all of the weapons that I could, all the junk gear, didn't optimize the way any of my stuff looked. I just wanted to jump in here real quick, show you guys all of these different weapon skills. So with the warrior, while you're seeing everything, you're going to see the two-handed axe has a blade storm, and then the mace and shield is going to have an earthquake slam. And then the death ball is going to have an ability where it throws the ball forward, does damage, and then if you press it again, it'll pull back the ball, and it will also bring the target to you. Also very specific to warrior is rage. Rage is going to be needed to do pretty much everything. If you want to use any of your abilities, you're going to need rage. Rage is built up by attacking, being attacked, and also through some of your tools. Alright, and then with the hunter, specific to the hunter is swiftness. Swiftness is gained as you deal damage, and then also later on it will also be gained through different aspects of the class, through evading, through aiming down the sights at your targets, all that good stuff. And swiftness is going to be used to increase the effectiveness of some of your other abilities. Now the weapon-specific ability for longbow is an electric shot, which is an instant cast ability. It does an instant shot and will also cause stasis buildup. Now the shortbow, its ability gives you a little bit of a dodge component while also giving you an auto lock shot. It does cost stamina, so you have to be careful with this one. Cool thing that you can use the spore though, after I'm no longer stand out, you can use some of your tools, which are specific arrows, and then you can use your weapon ability to get a quote-unquote guaranteed auto shot. Alright, and then the swift bow generates this little whirlwind effect. Alright, with priest, there's a specific bar down there that is a little like yellow brownish color, white color, I don't really know what to call that color. Essentially, to use your weapon abilities, you have to spend that bar's resources. With your staff, it's a greater heal, which will heal one target for a good amount. Your scepter is also a heal, however, it's a smaller heal, but it does the same thing as if you were attacking. You can lock it up to 3 different allies, or all on the same one if you charge it. Now the sword and shield is going to be more attack based. It will do essentially like a Heaven's Pillar on top of you, and it will increase the amount of damage that you deal for a short time thereafter. Alright, so the rogue specific resource is called Adrenaline, and I will show that to you before I show you the weapon specific skills. So what Adrenaline does is every time you attack with swords, it will increase the damage of your auto attack. Well, it will increase the damage of your left mouse button attacks. So you'll see I'm just pressing buttons here. I'm depleting my adrenaline bar. You'll notice that the amount of damage I was doing was 68, and now I'm doing 45 because I have no more adrenaline. Alright, and then the weapon skill for swords is a Blade Rush. It's pretty cool. It helps you engage combat or even get out depending on the situation. Alright, and for daggers, Adrenaline for daggers does not work the same way. It does not deplete when you use your left mouse button attacks, but when you use a right mouse button charge, more adrenaline, I immediately poison that target. Now that I have no adrenaline, I'm going to go over here and do it again to this one, and you'll see that I only do 33%. And then the rogue's dagger attack is a stun, cheap shot, which you might remember from the status effect review. Alright, and as we're loading up the wizard, I just want to talk about the mana bar real quick. Every class but the warrior uses it. It's essentially a second bar that goes in hand with your class-specific resource to cast other abilities and also use some of your class tools. Alright, and you'll notice here the weapon skill for a fire staff is called Conflagrate. What you do is you'll take any target that's burning and you will cause an extra little bit of damage. You'll consume the burning effect, cause a little damage to them, and then a pool of lava will build up underneath where they were standing. Alright, and then just to display the use of the mana bar, I'm casting a few spells here that depleted. With the wizard, pretty much most things will be using this, so you really have to get used to watching that and being aware of how much you're using. Because your opponents are going to be able to track it at higher end. They're going to be paying a lot more attention than you might be, so you have to be really careful. Alright, so the weapon skill for a Frost Orb, you become unstoppable, and you also get physical damage reduction. Alright guys, just wanted to apologize again for that. Thanks for bearing with it and going through this video as well, just to catch back up on that. I do want to just say that, again, these are not class-specific guides. There's a lot of nuances to all of these different aspects to the classes that can be used to improve your gameplay, but I'll leave that up to you to go ahead and go run into Goldbrook, run into Greenwood Day, fight some people, fight some mobs, figure that out for yourself, but also watch other people, see what you can figure out that way.